Hi everyone, this training video is going to discuss the contractor pay request process, which includes creating your prevailing wage report. A prevailing wage report is mandatory before submitting a pay request. You must create the prevailing wage report record for each pay request to be submitted. The prevailing wage report record is created by the contractor or the CMR. To create your prevailing wage report record, go to Logs, scroll down to Prevailing Wage Report, and then click Create. When the record window pops up for you, click the General tab, and then the first thing we're going to do is select your contract name. Then we'll want to include the pay request period start and the pay request period end. The status should always be pending while you're working with your record. It should only be complete when you're absolutely finished. For now, we're going to keep it in pending. If my company had worked this period, I'm going to fill out this section here. And if I only had work for my company for prevailing wage reports, I'm going to check this box to make sure that it's only my company's prevailing wage report in this record. To add the attachments for my own company, I'm going to click Add Attachment at the top of the page, choose Unifier Folder, and then pull my documents from Document Manager. If I have subcontractor details to add, I'm going to click on the Subcontractor Details tab, and then click the Add button. I'll click Select to choose my subcontractor name from my list of approved subcontractors and suppliers. Then I'll answer the questions about this subcontractor. Were they utilized this period? Was their payroll submitted? Their pay period start and end? And a short description. To add the attachment for my subcontractor, I'm going to click Attach at the top of this line item screen and then choose Unifier Folder. From here, I can go ahead and select my document from Document Manager, and then my subcontractor's prevailing wage report will be attached to their line item screen. Then I can click Save and Close. When I'm all finished with this record and I've added all necessary subcontractors, I can click the General tab, change my status from pending to complete, and then I can click Finish Editing. Just a warning, remember that when your status is complete and you click Finish Editing, you can no longer edit this record, so make sure you've entered all the necessary information. Now I'm going to click Finish Editing. The contractor pay request business process allows for the contractor to request payment for items recorded in the contract schedule of values. This process includes billing of services, material, and labor, billing for stored materials, as well as the calculation of retainage. For the workflow, it's created by the contractor, submitted to the architect for review, sent to the contractor for update if necessary. It then goes to the project coordinator for review and validation, sent to project manager review, and then sent to the owner approval, and finally the payment processing step. To create your contractor pay request, we're going to go to Logs, scroll down to Contractor Pay Request, and then we're going to click Create. We're going to click the General tab to expand that upper form and go ahead and title your pay request. Please check with your project coordinator to see if there's a specific name they want you to title your pay request. Usually it's the project number and then PR001, so on and so forth. So for today, we will follow that naming convention. Then we'll select our contract reference. Is this your final payment? For today, we're going to say no. And are you requesting release of retainage? For today, we'll say no. I'll choose my period from and my period to. And then I also need to put in a request date, so I can just put today's date. In the prevailing wage section, we'll click the select button and we'll choose the prevailing wage report that we've just most recently completed. Next, we'll scroll down to the previous pay request section. If this is your initial pay request, you can say yes. If this is not your initial pay request, you should say no, and then you can choose your previous pay request. Plugging in those previous pay requests allows your pay request to keep track of the money for the project from one pay request to the next. It also tracks your percent complete on the project. Once the items in that General tab are filled out, then we can click on the Pay Request Details tab. Before adding lines to our pay request details, something we might want to check is the current schedule of values. If I click the SOV button within my pay request, it's going to pull up a new screen where I can see my schedule of values. I can see my initial scheduled value here, and then I can also see my commits remaining balance. I can see that the first 3 lines no longer have any funds left on them, so I don't want to bill on those lines. I can also export this to Excel by choosing Export Summary Schedule of Values Sheet. I'm going to go ahead and close this, and now we're going to add lines to our pay request. When I click the Add button, it will pull up my schedule of values so that I can see where I need to bill. Something that's helpful is to click the Split button in the upper left-hand corner. And then on the left-hand side, we want to see the reference numbers, and we also want to be able to see the short description column. On the right-hand side, we want to be able to see the percent labor complete, percent materials complete, and percent services complete columns. What you'll notice in these columns is that there are dollar signs next to these amounts here, but these are actually percentages. So just pay attention to the column headers up at the top where it says percent complete. For the lines that I need to bill, I'm going to go ahead and add a short description here. And then over on the right-hand side, I can see here that this already says 65. This is from my previous billing. So now I just need to increase that 65 to the next percentage. So say now I'm 75% complete with my concrete labor on this line. I'll go ahead and add another line here. And change my 12% materials to 35. So you would just continue adding short descriptions and then adjusting your percentages as necessary. Once you're finished adding the information for your billing, you can go ahead and click OK. Then I can see my total amount down here at the bottom. A couple of things you might want to check. If your earned this period column has a negative amount in it, then there may be something wrong with your pay request. So at that point, you should call the support desk. Also, something you should check is if your total amount does not match up with the earned current request. So my current earned here should match my total amount in the bottom, which it does. As long as all of that information is correct, I can click the Action Details tab, verify that I have a workflow action selected. I can see it's going to the architect for review, and then I can go ahead and click Send. It should say that your contractor pay request has been submitted successfully. If you have any questions, please contact us at the OCI Support Desk, oci@ofcc.ohio.gov or 614-644-2211.